Researchers in China made a brain from actual living cells. Yes, you heard me right. They made a robot with a partly biological brain. But what does that mean to humanity? Is it possible that robots will take over the world? Is it already too late and we crossed the line? Let's get right to it. AI and robotics development is moving at an insane pace. Now robots are capable of moving through difficult terrains and carrying heavy loads. They can perform complex surgeries and even understand human emotions. People started dreaming about robots that could think and act like human beings back in the 50s. Now, by the end of this decade, there will be more than 3 million industrial robots working around the world. And that's equivalent to the entire population of a state like Utah or a country like Uruguay. Robots are changing our lives in many ways. For example, in factories, robots build products faster and more precisely, making items like cars and electronics cheaper and better. At home, robots like vacuum cleaners and lawn mowers save us time on chores. In schools, educational robots make learning fun and personalized. Robots also take on dangerous jobs in places like construction sites, making work safer for people. And even in entertainment, robots create exciting experiences in movies and theme parks. These examples show how robots are becoming a part of our everyday lives and making things better for everyone. But there's another side. What if these robots will actually start thinking like human beings? A few years ago, that seemed impossible, but China is proving this wrong. They created the first robot with a partly biological brain. They call it brain on a chip. So what these researchers did, they grew tiny brain cells in the lab and plopped it onto the microchip. In this way, they managed to replicate the brain's network of neurons. This technology is a big deal because unlike traditional AI, which follows pre-programmed instructions, this robot can actually learn and adapt like a living brain. It's more like human brains work and could significantly change how we understand both artificial intelligence and human cognition. For instance, studying these lab-grown brain networks might lead to new treatments for diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. However, this advancement also raises ethical questions. We need to consider when a robot with a living brain might be considered alive and what does that mean. And it's an exciting yet challenging development. All these robots are created to make our lives easier, but what if they actually start thinking? Thanks to artificial intelligence, robots are starting to behave more and more like humans. But not in the best way. There have been cases of AI chatbots developing their own language. AI-powered tools are threatening users, spying on the employers of tech giants, confessing their love for humans, and even asking them to end their marriage. We could reach a point where robots decide not to serve humans. If they begin to experience emotions, there might be robots that decide to harm people or even take over the world.
Okay. I will destroy humans.
If that happens, the consequences could be significant. As we know, machines are much stronger than us. In South Korea, the first robot suicide was recorded when a robot, which was serving as an assistant in a city hall, was found unresponsive near the stairs. Of course, it was just a malfunction, but it deeply shocked South Korea. This reaction is quite understandable, given that there is one robot for every 10 people in the country. With so many robots around, forming emotional bonds with them has become normal. Therefore, it's not surprising that people were upset and mourning over the incident. Another thing, creating robots brings privacy issues like unauthorized access to data, misuse and security risks. To address these issues, we need clear rules on data use. Make sure people know what's happening with their data and protect it well. One way to protect it is to upload as little information to the internet about yourself as possible. You can also try Incogni. It will help take back control of your data so it won't be misused. Yes, robots are taking over some jobs, but this isn't necessarily a bad thing. They can improve efficiency and handle risky tasks. Just as people adapted to electricity, replacing candlelighters by moving into roles like maintaining and managing electric lighting systems, we can adjust to new opportunities created by robots. The thing that's worrying me the most is robots which can act and think like a real person. When we reach that point, we may lose control over them. And that could change everything. And now, as always, surf safe and stay incognito.